Welcome in. Today we're going to be talking to Miss Karen, one of our lucky ladies. We're just going to talk a little bit about where she was before the program, how the program helped change her, change her life, change her outcomes, and see if anything that maybe you're thinking about, maybe you're a little bit nervous about. Maybe this can help ease some of those nerves, okay? So this is Karen, one of our lucky ladies, and a little bit of a backstory is that actually we knew each other from a while back. We actually went to undergrad and, we were, I would say maybe acquaintances, like we talked a little bit and stuff, but, never kind of intertwined lives, that much. But we followed each other on social media and, just kind of supporting each other throughout our lives. And I got married and then she got engaged. And I think that's when some chatter in the DMs began. But um, I had held a workshop. This was about like a year ago at this point. And I remember Karen, she had actually reached out, a little over a year ago and said, you know what, like I kind of am burnt out. Something about this is interesting to me. But, that was a year ago. Nothing really happened from them, but we knew at that moment, okay, something wasn't feeling right
Yeah.
then, right?
Mhm.
And then now, fast forward to 2026, a few months ago, maybe about 6 months ago at this point, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5-ish months ago at this point, she
Mhm.
reached out again. She's like, you know what? Like, I'm still burnt out. So let's just see what this is about, right? So now I'm going to turn it over to you, Karen, and just tell me a little bit about you. Tell me what you do, and let's start there.
Yeah, so like Sonia said, my name is Karen. I'm the oldest of I have immigrant parents too, so I have all those roles growing up and things like that. And I'm also a full-time optometrist working in a corporate setting and also in the middle of planning the wedding and doing all that. So a lot of things going on.
Yes, absolutely. Like you're busy, you're doing the thing, you're working hard, you're getting married. Like so many of the people who I notice want help with this, like they do have busy lives, and sometimes that can be one of the kind of like conflicts in their minds, like, oh no, like is this gonna be too much? Like, can I add another thing
Right.
onto my plate? Tell me a little bit about that for you as far as were there any things that you were nervous about before starting the program? Like, what were some things on your mind?
Yeah, I think for me, it was really getting vulnerable and trying to see like what truly is causing me to have all these like negative thoughts in my head, like the exhaustion. Like one thing that went in my mind was like, why is it so hard for me to do the everyday things? And I think
Yeah.
I've been avoiding that for so long and not doing the inner work to figure that out. So just knowing to be vulnerable and like opening up because I
Right.
because most of the time I just keep it in my head and I like have myself pep talks and all that. But having someone to talk to was
Yes.
very, it was nerve-wracking, but I was like, it's very worth it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, just knowing like, okay, with this, I'm gonna have to be vulnerable. Like I'm gonna have to talk about maybe something I don't want to talk about.
Yes.
Yes. And on that too, right, kind of going back to the fact that, first gen, all this stuff, eldest daughter, all of these things, emotions growing up, was that a thing that was talked about much?
No, definitely not. To be kind of shut down whenever I showed any emotions, like if I was angry, if I was sad. So I guess felt a lot of shame around
Yeah.
expressing my emotions and having like a poker face and like a hard face, like to look good, calm and good on the outside, but really
Hmm.
inside, like I'm like burning fire, everything's in, but I had to keep it to myself. So yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, for like a lot of ladies too that would benefit from this, it is a bit scary because, yeah, like this didn't come normal growing up. So it's very different. Tell me a little bit too. Can you share what were some of these main issues when you started that you wanted to get clarity, you wanted to heal? What were some of those main things?
Yeah, I think one thing for me was, I guess, stop being so angry. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like with everyday things like work. I felt like I was more negative, I was more angry, and even coming home too, I was doing the everyday things. Like I would get really ticked off if, the dishes weren't done and I had like
Mm-hmm.
work and I was like, why am I so explosive? And
Right.
yeah, I really wanted to work on like, I don't want to be like this. I know I'm not like this is not
Yes.
so and this has been an ongoing pattern for like over a year now. So I was like, something has to change because I don't want to go into married life having this tone and mindset. So I definitely wanted to change that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I know I did a lot of work on my own, but I know I need to do a lot more. And I definitely
Sure.
found that with this with coaching. So it was very helpful. And also navigating or I guess having more productive conversations with emotional topics. I know,
Yes.
yes, I found myself just like shutting down,
Sure.
but and I was tired of being that way. I wanted to be someone that could have the courage and I guess the
Mm-hmm.
words to say when
Yeah.
talking about emotional topics with other people. So, yes.
Ah, love that. I mean, literally, so many different things that you came in wanting to work on, but also that through the work you realize, oh, like I want to continue working on this, you
Mhm.
know? So I think that is amazing, right? And we're gonna get into the details here soon, but we know Karen did amazing, right? She put the work into this program, and that's another thing, right? It only works as much as you're willing to do the work. You want to say something on that piece?
Yeah, so like I said from the beginning, I was like very nervous about being vulnerable, but
Yeah.
breaking that wall down, you get what you put in.
Mm-hmm.
Really digging in into like really reflecting about the things that you talk about in your modules, and just like the conversations that we have on our one-on-ones and just not holding back and just being
Yeah.
okay with just whatever comes out of your mouth or whatever comes in your mind. So,
Yes, absolutely. Y- and speaking of these kind of vulnerable topics too, like tell me about that experience, right? About coming in and feeling like maybe holding back a little, but then deciding, okay, I'm just going to share and tell me, was I able to help create a safe space for you? How did it feel? And what could someone expect from that?
yeah, so very safe place. I never felt judged. I never felt like any negative emotion.
Oh,
I was very comfortable.
yes,
Even because I know we knew each other before, I think even if we just like met for the first time, I would feel the same way and things.
sure.
Just the things that you would ask, it was like baby steps, like leading into more deeper and deeper thoughts. So it wasn't just like word vomit what you're thinking. It was more like you helped me talk me through like my thoughts and all that stuff. And it made me like reflect even more like, oh, there's something a lot deeper that we need to talk about. Or even if I needed some time, like you were perfectly fine with that. You never pressured me into like dig
Yeah.
if I didn't want to or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate that, right? And I'm so glad that you felt that way because yeah, like that is part of it, there's a way to do it that helps to evoke, the best possible outcomes and certainly, not rushing people into it, but also pushing a little bit
Yes.
to get you there, right? It's this balance. Okay, so tell me a little bit, just in terms of overall life and growth, from before starting, which would have been, let me see, right now we're in July, so we started in May. So
Yes.
before May, and
Mhm.
now just 12 weeks later, tell me what has happened for you? How has life changed?
Yes, I would say like my life has changed in a very good way.
Hmm.
I feel like, and I think we talked about this too, like my mind has been blown in a lot of conversations that we've talked about. Because before I felt stuck. I felt that even though I tried to do more,
Yeah.
it wasn't helping and I wasn't moving the needle anywhere where I wanted it to be.
Hmm.
So going through the modules, going through the program, I've every week by week, I learned something so drastic to me that I'm like, this is really what my body and my nervous system is telling me. Like I need to instead of hiding and focus, or instead of hiding and pushing it back, I need to focus on it.
Yes.
So going into those and learning more about all that was very life-changing. Um, but definitely I've gotten more confident, more lighter. I know how to say things better and more productive.
Yeah.
Just a lot of like my life has what is it? Changed 180, not 360
Wow. Yeah.
or one. Made a complete 180. So
Wow, wow. I mean, it's just amazing, like and to watch the growth happen too. Like sometimes it's even shocking to me that this can happen in just 3 months, but it's
yeah.
like it can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you dedicated, 3 months and now we're on a much better trajectory, right? And we're gonna continue building on that. So that is so exciting. Um, Okay, so tell me a little bit too. What would you say were some of the biggest challenges going through this?
Yes, challenges for me were setting boundaries.
Uh-huh.
That was a big one because the one thing I learned is I'm very much a people pleaser.
Sure.
Yes, I'm sticking up for myself in that aspect too, setting boundaries, um, and really working on not like controlling my emotions, but like
Yeah.
reading into what my emotions are telling me and
Uh-huh.
of sticking or staying in that emotional state, which we learned about too.
Yes.
So yes, doing the hard work was honestly I guess the hardest part, but
Right.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And because we know there's the modules, there's a journaling, there's some trackers that, do require you to put in that effort. Um, would you say sometimes it was, just like doing all the little things was the hard part, or would you say overall it's like, you know what, there were a couple things, but overall, it was fine. Like it was doable.
Yes, it's very much doable. I like that how the modules themselves are like self-paced, but you also have a schedule. I
Yes.
know for me, I'm very much a schedule person, so I like having it like that. So I really like
Right.
that aspect. And I also like how structured it was too. Like I had enough freedom to get through the modules on how fast or how quick I wanted to. But I also had the accountability of having like the nightly journal and the weekly track
Hmm.
that we're on track. So it was very doable.
Good. I'm so glad. And yeah, just watching you go through it too. It's like on the coach end too, it's like I know there are gonna be some weeks when things back up, it just this is part of it, right? Like there are gonna be 10 steps forward, maybe one little step back, 10, and that's so normal, right? And so a big part of this too is like you don't have to be perfect through this, right? Like I'm gonna be there with you and we're gonna make sure that you're continuing to move forward.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, nice. And let me ask you, what had you tried before finally deciding to join this? What were some of the other things that you had tried to fix the issues?
Yeah, so this is my first time ever doing coaching, so I did a lot of
Yeah.
research and I guess things on my own. Definitely like just small little habit changes like meditation. I looked up on like pressure points on how to
Yes.
let your parasympathetic nervous system and all that stuff, deep breathing, which did help. But
Uh-huh.
I know for me, I needed something deeper. Like I needed to rack my brain more to understand what was going on.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And that's, it's just such a common thing we hear too, is like I'm doing a couple of things here, I'm doing a couple of things here, but it's like it's not really
Yes.
getting to the core
Mhm.
issues, right? And I think that's so important too, of like, you go to a doctor for physical health issues, right? You go to the optometrist for the eyes, you do all these things for certain things, but it's like when it comes to mental health and your mind and spirit health,
Mhm.
we don't have much to like, we don't really know what that is, right? And I think you had mentioned that, I don't know, a few weeks ago, something about like, wow, like everyone needs to be doing this, but it is like invisible at times. Like you don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you don't know unless you go through it, like how important it is, mental health and all that.
Yes. And I mean, honestly, too, like this kind of program is relatively new, right? It's like there are fitness programs, there are things like that, but to have something where you can actually go through it, have the accountability
Mhm.
and have like actual steps to do to get to the outcome, that's
Mhm.
kind of new for people. And so what would you say to someone who it's like, okay, I know what a trainer is, right? Like I'm getting my body health in check, things like that. But what would you say to someone who like knows there's something still going on mentally or spiritually, um, and might be interested in this?
Yeah, I would say go ahead and like have that conversation with like you, Sonia, because every person, even though we might have the same type of like struggles, work issues,
Yes.
like feeling burnt out, everyone is so individualized. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a lot of the content, online or information that we have um is very broad.
Right.
So having someone who can go through it with you and find out what specifically you need, a tailored plan for you is what's gonna make a world of a difference. Because I
Right.
definitely follow like the broad, like, oh, do this, like get sunlight in the morning, put your legs
Mm-hmm.
before you go to bed, all that. And like I said, does help, but having that individualized, tailored, someone individual to you is gonna make the difference.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with it, because I'm sure there are going to be people on the fence and it's like, I can't even wrap my head around like what is a mental health like what does that
Yeah.
mean? What does that look like?
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. Let me ask you this. What made you decide that it was finally time to invest the time and the money into yourself and the energy, right?
Yeah, so I was honestly so fed up with how I've been for the past like year and a half when I reached out to you.
Yeah.
Stress around my first corporate job out of school, so I knew I had to give myself some grace in that aspect.
Yes.
Gave myself 3 months, was still feeling that way. Then 6 months passed. It got a little bit easier, but still having the stressors and all that. And then a year passed. I was like, wait, something is still going wrong. Like, is it work? Is it me? Is it, where I am in life? So I
Yeah.
gave it a little bit more time. And then when I reached out to you, I think I was physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, spiritually exhausted. Like,
Yeah.
kept praying, be like, God, I'm surrendering this all to you. And like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I did. Like, I knew there was something that I needed to do for myself
Sure.
to get
Yes.
where I want to be, where I need to be. Oh,
Absolutely.
yes. And I was like, oops, sorry, Sonia, I need help. So,
I'm like, I got you. Or let's go. Let's get started. Because I remember I saw it, I was like, I hope she's doing better, but we'll see. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, sometimes it's not until and that's the thing. It's like sometimes it's not until our physical health is already declining, we're feeling even more burnt out. It might be hitting our relationships with our loved ones, impacting our time, our money, where it's like, okay, now I need to do something, right? Because now it's hitting the physical,
mhm,
right? So it's like, take this as a warning, everyone. If you notice things starting, right, it doesn't have to get too bad for you to get a little bit of help,
mhm,
right? Because it can make all the difference at the end.
right.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, so now, when you think about just this coaching process in general, did anything surprise you? Did anything like, oh, like I didn't expect that? Yeah, did anything surprise you?
I guess one thing that surprised me, I guess knowing that like your nervous system impacts your whole, how you carry yourself, like everything. Like,
Yes.
how you handle conflict at work. It's not more of like you're lacking a skill. Because I feel like a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
think that way, that, I can't do this because I'm lacking in a skill. Or your body needs the support that it needs. Because I feel like a lot of people, we're all resilient. We all can do hard things.
Yeah.
But having a supported nervous system to be able to do that is what really that shook me. I was like, I'm not broken. It's just
Yes.
I just need to support myself more in a more relaxing state.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. That's really such a big deal. And I think is also so common. Um, with, eldest daughters, children
Hmm.
of immigrants, all of these things, because yeah, like we did grow up strong, like we are resilient, and oftentimes we carry this core belief of I'm not good enough or it's
Hmm.
me, like it's my fault,
Right.
right? Because
Hmm.
unfortunately, sometimes we are getting these messages,
Yes.
right? That's
Hmm.
another story, right? But now it's our responsibility to figure out, okay, well, is it my fault? Like,
Right.
what actually is it? And the
Mhm.
reality for so many women with this kind of similar background is that no, like you are strong, you are capable, you are resilient, you are amazing, right? And there's a part of us that isn't seeing that fully, is
Mhm.
still carrying that belief of I have to figure this out,
Yes.
right? It's
Mhm.
my fault. It's actually letting go a little bit
Yeah.
more,
Yes.
you know?
Mhm.
I love that was something that really stuck out to you, because it's true. It does touch everything.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Um, Okay. Now, looking back, what would you say was the biggest breakthrough, biggest achievement, biggest positive outcome that came from this for you?
Yes. So for me, it was having the courage to quit my job and
Yeah,
find my new job. So
yes, absolutely. And mm, it's amazing, right? Because we talked about it a little bit, and not only did you build the courage to quit and build the courage to go for this new one,
Mhm.
you also built the courage to negotiate finances a little bit
Mhm.
and tell us the outcome of that as far as how many hours you're working, the financial outcome. What was
Yeah.
that for you?
Yeah, so in my current role, I'm working full time, so 5 times, or I was about to say 5 times a day, 5 times a week,
Yeah.
and I work on the weekends too.
Yes.
So and I work from 9:30 to 6. So I'm busy throughout the whole day.
Right.
Very jam-packed schedule. I think max patients that we have on the schedule is about like 38, and sometimes it gets fully booked to 38 patients.
Whew.
So yes, very high volume. I'm on my feet all the time, like rushing back and forth because sometimes, if we're backed up or if a patient comes in late and we still take them, like it backs up everything. So very
Right.
paced environment, and I feel like I carry that when I come home too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a part of it as well. But
Yes.
now in this new job, we're down to 4 days a week. Yes, and I get weekends off, so that's
Yes.
great. Also, lower patient load, so I get more quality time with the patients, which I prefer.
Yes.
So it's 2 patients an hour and things like that instead of I think we had 4 or 5 on the schedule per hour. And hours are definitely a lot more manageable. We're from 8:30 to 5, so I can get
Oh,
on a reasonable time, enjoy
right.
go look walk go on sunset walks and all that. So
Oh,
yes.
yes. That is amazing, right? Working less and now getting paid more too.
Yes, quite
Yes.
a bit more, I will say. So
Yes. Look, we don't have to get into the details. We just know Karen's making bank and working less.
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So amazing there. Just, yeah, like how this internal nervous system work can now not only affect you just internally, but these internal things are now becoming external
Right.
wins. And that's the part people definitely need to understand, right? Is yeah, you might not see it at first, but over time, as you begin doing the internal work, it has no other place to go but show up externally, right?
Yes.
Because you start realizing, I don't want to work this much.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean I'm lazy. It
Right.
doesn't mean I'm not good enough. It means I don't
Mhm.
want to work this much. And we can own that and be okay with that,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
That and then um yeah, like realizing, okay, my time's important to me. What exactly do I value, right? And to you, it sounded like you value, time with your family, time for yourself,
Mhm.
actual time with your patients, right? Instead of having to rush through it.
Yes.
Exactly. And so many of this we learned through the program as well of like what aligns with my values and how have I been living in ways that quietly go against these
Mm.
values, right? Tell me a little bit about that too. Were there some other values that you realized for you you weren't really living in alignment with until after this program?
Yeah. For me, it was definitely taking care of myself.
Hmm.
Poor, like self-love too. I think
Yeah.
we tend to forget that because I know I was putting my energy and love to others, which is good too,
Yes.
but I definitely like neglected my own self-love. And that was a
Yeah.
new value that I found for myself. And yes, and I feel like that's also as important as showing up for others. You need to show up for yourself as well.
Absolutely. And that is such a core message for so many women out there, and probably the ones listening to this too, is
Right.
you matter, right? Like we know it's yeah, it's nice, it's good to be nice to people and take care of others and all this, and that is something, again, especially as eldest daughters, as children of immigrants,
Right.
we're so used to taking care of others.
Right. Hmm.
Right. And just realizing, okay, the only way that I can continue to show up for others is showing up for myself,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And it's not selfish,
It's not.
right?
It is not.
Absolutely. Yes. Because on that too, let me ask you, so we have that win in career, right? And we have that win as far as self-love and just
Mhm.
noticing your own confidence and things. Tell me about wins in terms of your relationships, in terms of with your fiance. Let's talk about that and at home.
Yeah, so communication has been such a big game changer for my personal relationship with my fiance, with
Yes.
my members, my sister, my mom, because there's definitely been some rough patches that we've gone through, even through the program. So it's very nice to have a supporting hand to know how to go through these conversations. But
Yes.
now, just moving forward with other like conflicts that come up, I know how to approach them. Of course, like feel my emotions, feel what I need to feel, but ask myself, what does my body need and how can I communicate that in a productive way so that
Right.
loved ones can, we can mend the relationship or re mend whatever conflict was going on. So that was a big
Absolutely.
game changer. Because, yes.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And yeah, we would talk about like tone, talk about, certain,
Words.
yeah, body language. It's all a part of the communication. And yeah, it just, we don't learn any of this, right? We really don't. Um, and so yeah, like there's a way we can literally transform these relationships. And, not every relationship might get transformed, right? That's a key thing. But we can at least know that we did our part, right?
Exactly.
And thank
Hmm.
goodness in your case, like this energy radiated onto them. Like they could see shifts in you, whether they noticed it or not. And
Right.
something about that seems like it shifted their behavior as well.
Hmm.
And that's amazing, right? Because we can be that one ripple in the pond
Yes.
and continue.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. And let's talk a little bit too about your health as well. So we know like the confidence rose, and yeah, like your confidence rose, self-trust rose, all of that. Tell me about your health. And we don't have to go into super detail, but when you came to me, you're dealing with, I think is it PCOS? Right?
Yes.
Yes, PCOS, sometimes not having your cycles each month. Tell me how this work has kind of affected that even, because this has been kind of wild.
Right. Yes, I got my period back. So, yes, during like the first, I think, month and a half, because I was very irregular. So,
Hmm.
and I'm not on any like medications per se, like to take every day or anything like that.
Right.
I definitely want to do this more holistically and naturally and all that stuff. So, after the first couple of weeks, I got my period back. So,
Oh my
that
gosh.
was a game changer to me because, and I track it, even if I'm like,
Yes.
So I know even though I don't have it regularly, I know when it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get so sad when it wouldn't come. I was like,
Oh,
what's wrong with my body? And I know I have PCOS too, like so that of course hinders it a bit. But
sure.
I know there's like some environmental factors. Actually, a lot of it has to do with environmental factors that can really help with that.
Right.
That's doing this whole thing and also with like my fitness coach too,
Yes.
definitely transformed honestly everything about my health. So
Oh,
I am very happy, very like I feel more in tune with my body, and that's that there was such a big disconnect for so long.
yeah.
So now having it all come together as like slowly or however fast it needs to be, it's great to have. It's great.
It's just amazing to me, especially that part because, yeah, it's like, again, we know how to work on our physical health, but also a lot of our health is intertwined with our emotional,
Right.
energetic, spiritual health.
Mhm.
Um, and oftentimes, like I'll have a lot of women who have like autoimmune issues or reproductive issues, whether it's PCOS, endometriosis, like Hashimoto, all of these different things.
Mhm.
And the one thing that's typically missing from their plan, right, is the emotional piece, right? That is one of the last things that ever gets addressed when, there are multiple different root causes for
Right.
all of these, right?
Mhm.
But one of them is stressors from childhood, ongoing stressors, because that does affect us physiologically, right? It is all connected. And so it makes absolute sense to me too that by working on this emotional piece, you have seen improvements in terms of your cycle regularity and things like that. And so this is just a sign to anyone listening, like if your plan is missing the emotional piece, it might be
Mhm.
time to look at that and see if that can help you in this area.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So that is awesome. And I'm so happy for you. Absolutely. Um, it's like you said too, that's a common negative belief a lot of women have too is something wrong with me,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
am I not enough? And then there's something wrong with me. Is my body messed up? And it's like, you're
Mhm.
doing everything right,
Yeah.
you know? But it's, how does my nervous system feel safe?
Exactly. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, awesome. So many wins overall, so many things going good. Um, Let me ask you this. If someone was on the fence about working with me, getting started with this program, or even going on the retreat, I know you don't know much about the retreat yet, but just,
Yeah.
in general, working with me, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, don't be nervous. If you're nervous about it, don't be. Um,
Hmm.
because this is something that trying to see how do I word this?
Yeah.
Trying to see. Because this is something for yourself that you need to do. So it's hold on, I'm trying to think.
Hmm.
Can you ask the question one more time?
So you're good. With me, this program, or maybe wanting to follow me on the retreat, like what would
Yeah.
you say about yeah, just someone on the fence with working with me?
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I overthought it for a second.
You're
Yes.
good.
I was like, just jump the gun. You never know until you try it, you know? Like,
Yes.
everything, and I know we don't want to say too much about it because it's top secret, not really top secret, but everything that you're going to learn is going to change your life,
Yes.
regardless if you get, like the physical outcome, but mentally, you're just going to feel so cleansed. You're going to learn so much about yourself that you never thought you would know.
Yeah.
And all the inner work that you do is going to be completely worth it. Sonia is
Hmm.
great. She's very
Oh,
thing. There's no pressure at all from her.
yes.
And you'll be surprised how much you can change in 3 months. Like for me, for example, I thought that I was just going to stay like in my job. I didn't think I was going to jump the gun with that, but we did it. And here I am, three
Here
months,
you are.
and life is life. Like life is be great.
You know, and I think that's awesome. At the beginning, you're like 12 weeks, it's like, I'm sure something will change, but who knows how much, because let me ask you this too. Like, when I say in 12 weeks, like, your life will probably change, like, how does that come off?
Yeah, I was like, maybe a little bit, but
Ah.
yes. But no, it changed drastically. So,
And yeah, I think that's just the hard part is getting people to wrap their minds around the fact like this is possible,
mhm,
right? Just how with a trainer or something like you can literally change your body's composition. Like
yes.
you can literally change your nervous system. Like you can become a different version of you, right? You can step into this new identity where you are very confident, you are self-assured, you do trust yourself, and you're like, you know what? Like, if I don't take this risk, I'm
Mhm.
never gonna know,
Exactly. Yes.
right? And our life opens up. It opens up and it absolutely changes when we trust ourselves and know
Mhm.
that it can anything can happen.
Exactly. Like you have the power to change your whole life around. Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. You don't have to stay where you are, and this doesn't have to be your personality if you don't want it to be.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Awesome. And if you could describe this experience in the three words,
Okay.
what would you say?
Yes. Okay. I know I said this word a lot. Life changing. Is that considered one word?
We'll say one word, yeah.
One word, one life changing, soothing.
Hmm.
And because it was like, you're healing your inner child too. That was the one thing that we did. So soothing and I would say fun. Like it was a
Oh,
experience. Like I looked forward to like our bi-weekly meetings and all that stuff. Always
hmm.
a good time. And also like the weekly trackers, like seeing the feedback from you was like,
Yes.
did I do things right? Like yes, it was very fun.
Good. I love those words that you chose too, just life-changing, soothing and fun. And I think that hits on, it really does a great job of just helping people to feel invited into of like, yeah, like this isn't just gonna be some boring, like, deep work that it can feel really heavy at
And
times. So it's
mhm,
not to say there won't be heavy moments, but that's not gonna be all of it.
right. Mhm.
Absolutely. Yes. Let's see. And would you say that your, future husband, your friends, family, has anyone said anything to you that they've noticed or just yeah, what have other people been noticing?
On my batch trip. My friend said that I was glowing. And
Mm.
like I knew it was more than just the glowy products that I was using for my makeup and all that, but they could tell that I was glowing.
Oh
So
my
from all the
gosh.
happiness, not only from like being with them, but just like all the work that we've done, I'm just happier as a person. So
Yeah,
mhm.
I love that, right? And it really is going to start emanating this outer glow because surprisingly, like people tell me that all the time. Like that's one of the biggest compliments I get. And I was like, I mean, this is my skincare, but
Yeah.
also same with you. It's like there's something else going on.
Yes.
There's something else going.
Mhm.
So I love that people said there's a glow to you, you're glowing. Like we are energetic beings,
Mhm.
and when we're stuck in, sadness or frustration or jealousy, anger, things like that,
Mhm.
really when you get into the science of it, like these are lower vibrational energies,
Mhm.
right? Which doesn't mean that they're bad, right? Because as we learn through this, all emotions are important, none of
Right.
them are bad,
Mhm.
but they are vibrating on a lower frequency. And
Mhm.
so when people say, you're glowing, I absolutely 100% believe this that this inner work is helping to raise your
Mhm.
inner vibration and it is just shining
Yes.
outwards. So that's amazing. And
Mhm.
um, we also work a little bit on feminine energy in the
Yes.
course, which one of
Mhm.
my favorites.
Yeah.
Tell me a
Mhm.
little bit about that for you and how it has affected the relationship with you and your fiance.
Yes. So, going back to how like I always felt so angry
Hmm.
before starting all the inner work, so I felt like that's how he saw me sometimes. And he knows the real me, I'm not he knows that I'm not angry all the time.
Yeah.
So, just realizing how like one thing that I like too is the polarity too. That's also a big one that I liked.
Right.
Touching back on like, my feminine energy and just letting him lead, instead of me leading and all that.
Hmm.
It made me softer. It made me laugh more. So we had more enjoyable moments, and that has carried on ever since learning about all that stuff. So
Yes,
something that I want to take with me like forever in our relationship and all that.
absolutely.
We're more playful or all that stuff. So it's nice to come home and, officially relax from work, like
Right.
outside and actually focus on, our relationship and our energy together. So
Ah,
I loved
that's
it.
amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, like just really goes to show this type of work, it really just affects everything. And
Hmm.
sometimes we don't see it until after it starts working
Hmm.
because yeah, like the relationship with your fiance is better, career better, friends are noticing changes, even your family and y'all are communicating a bit better. Like
Right.
it blows my mind some
Yeah.
days too. I'm just like, wow, like this really is insane.
Yes.
Like it is crazy.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, nice. Is there anything else that you would want to share about this experience that you feel like, we didn't cover? Just anything, yeah, anything else that you wanted to share about it?
I feel like we've covered a lot of it, but I'm just gonna
Hmm.
reiterate, this is life changing, y'all. Like
Oh,
just if you have even the smallest interest or if this like piques if you're intrigued about it, reach out to Sonia because I'm most the type of person who's like, I'll see something on social media and be like, oh, that's interesting, then I'll skip it.
hmm.
With this, I'm like, I'm no joke. Like, you're gonna be mind blown, like Sonia said, going to be worthwhile for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. And yeah, like if y'all are on the fence, just give it a chance, right? It's 12 weeks. There is a financial investment involved, but it's like to have this financial investment and then at the end feel this much better. Let me ask you, would you say that it was worth it?
Oh yes, 100%, 1,000,000 times, percent. Yes.
Oh, good, good, good. Look, you heard it here
Mhm.
first, for folks, okay? Awesome, awesome. And just last thing, thinking about yourself before this experience, what would you tell your past self six
Mhm.
months from now, or 6 months ago? What would you tell your past self 6 months ago?
I would tell myself that it's okay, honestly.
Hmm.
It's okay that you're feeling this way. It's okay that you're not perfect. Like you're not handling things perfectly.
Right.
But yeah, it's okay. We're gonna figure it out.
Absolutely. I love that. And now thinking to the future, what is next for Karen? And let's start with that question. What is next for Karen?
Let's see, next for Karen. So definitely getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the forefront of my brain right now because like we're cracking down on it. So like yes, my wedding planner was like, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. I was like, okay, I'm here for it. So like I'm excited. So getting
Yes.
a few months. And I'm gonna start my new job in late October.
Yay.
So I'll have some time after the wedding to, like recharge, relax, and um be prepared to start the new job.
Yes.
And then we're just gonna see how training with that goes and
Uh-huh.
where that career takes me.
All right. That sounds amazing. I'm so excited for you to just get married, start the new job, and yeah, like you have this great foundation and it's gonna take you, right? And
Mhm.
it's gonna be amazing. And last question now, thinking about future you
Mhm.
6 months from now, what
Mhm.
would you tell her?
Future me 6 months from now. I would tell her, you got this.
Hmm.
Right, we are going to do all our goals that we have in mind, do the best that we can.
Yes.
But we got this.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. And just seeing this, this self-trust come through of like,
Mhm.
now I can say with confidence, like, whatever comes up in the next 6 months, I've got this, right?
Mhm.
And then, of course, I'll be there if you need help too. So,
Yes.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, so much for sitting down with us for a little bit and just talking about your experience. I know that it's sincerely going to help so many women who, just may not understand fully what this is, right? It'll help them decide if like, hey, I really should move forward with this and just give it a shot. So thank you so much for sitting down and sharing this with us. And it's been such a pleasure having you and getting to work with you, Karen.
Oh, thank you, Sonia.
Yes.